If you're watching this video right now, I need you to understand something that might sound impossible at first, but stay with me because what I'm about to share with you has the potential to completely transform your relationship with money, abundance, and financial freedom. This isn't another get-rich-quick scheme. This isn't about working harder or finding some secret investment strategy. This is about something far more fundamental, something that exists at the very fabric of reality itself. This is about the quantum wealth code, and by the time you finish watching this video, you're going to understand why some people seem to attract money effortlessly while others struggle their entire lives, no matter how hard they work. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be really honest with yourself right now. Have you ever noticed how there are people who just seem to have this magnetic pull when it comes to money? They're not necessarily smarter than you. They didn't necessarily come from wealthy families. They don't work harder than you do. But somehow, opportunities just fall into their lap. Money flows to them. They make one good decision after another, and their bank account just keeps growing. Meanwhile, you're out here grinding, hustling, doing everything the so-called experts tell you to do, and yet you're still stuck in the same financial position you were in last year, or maybe even 5 years ago. You've probably asked yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why does it seem so easy for them and so hard for me? Here's what most people don't understand, and this is where the quantum wealth code comes into play. The reality you're experiencing right now, including your current financial situation, isn't just the result of your actions, your education, or even your circumstances. It's the result of the frequency you're vibrating at. Now, I know that might sound strange if you've never explored quantum physics or energy work before, but bear with me because this is where everything starts to make sense. Every single thing in this universe, including you, including money, including the opportunities that come your way, is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies. This isn't mystical nonsense. This is actual quantum physics. Scientists have proven that at the subatomic level, everything is energy in motion, and that energy vibrates at specific frequencies. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs about money, all of these create a vibrational frequency that you're broadcasting out into the quantum field every single moment of every single day. And here's the kicker. The quantum field responds to the frequency you're sending out. If you're constantly thinking thoughts like, I never have enough money, or rich people are greedy, or I'll never be wealthy, you're broadcasting a poverty frequency. And the quantum field, which doesn't judge, which doesn't care about your intentions, only responds to your vibration, gives you more experiences that match that frequency. It's like a radio. If your internal radio is tuned to 95.5 FM, the station of struggle and lack, that's the only station you're going to receive. You could be surrounded by abundance stations broadcasting wealth and prosperity, but if you're not tuned to that frequency, you'll never pick up the signal. This is the quantum wealth code. It's the understanding that wealth isn't just about what you do in the physical world. It's about the energetic frequency you're operating from. And once you crack this code, once you understand how to shift your frequency to match the frequency of wealth and abundance, everything changes. The universe literally reorganizes itself around your new vibration. Opportunities that were invisible before suddenly appear. People who can help you achieve your financial goals show up out of nowhere. Ideas that can make you money just pop into your head. Money starts flowing to you instead of you constantly chasing after it. Now, let me explain something really important about quantum physics that most people miss. There's a principle called quantum superposition, which basically means that all possibilities exist simultaneously until they're observed or measured. In other words, right now, there's a version of reality where you're struggling financially, and there's also a version of reality where you're abundantly wealthy. Both exist at the same time in the quantum field. The version you experience depends entirely on where your consciousness is focused and what frequency you're vibrating at. This is what quantum physicists discovered when they did the famous double-slit experiment. They found that the observer literally affects the outcome of what's being observed. Your consciousness isn't just passively experiencing reality. It's actively creating it. So when we talk about the quantum wealth code, we're talking about the specific frequency signature that wealth operates at. Just like every radio station has a specific frequency it broadcasts on, wealth has a frequency. Abundance has a frequency. Financial freedom has a frequency. And when you learn how to tune your internal frequency to match that wealth frequency, you literally begin to collapse the quantum wave function in favor of the abundant reality. You shift from the timeline where you're struggling to the timeline where money flows easily to you. This isn't magic. This is quantum mechanics in action. But here's where most people get stuck. They want to change their financial situation, but they're approaching it from the wrong level. They're trying to fix their money problems by working harder, by getting another job, by cutting expenses, and while those things might help in the short term, they're not addressing the root cause. The root cause is the frequency you're operating from. If you're vibrating at the frequency of lack, no amount of hard work is going to create lasting wealth because you're still broadcasting that poverty signal to the quantum field. It's like trying to tune into a classical music station while your dial is set to heavy metal. No matter how loud you turn up the volume, you're not going to hear Mozart. Think about it this way. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling really good, when you're in a positive, high-vibe state, good things tend to happen? You get unexpected money. Someone offers you an opportunity. You find a great deal on something you needed. That's not coincidence. That's the quantum wealth code in action. When you're in that high-frequency state, you're a vibrational match to abundance, so abundance flows to you. But then something happens. Maybe you get a bill you weren't expecting. Maybe you have a setback at work. Maybe someone says something that triggers your old money stories. And suddenly, your frequency drops. You fall back into worry, stress, and fear about money. And what happens? The flow stops. The opportunities dry up. You're back to struggling. The quantum wealth code teaches you how to maintain that high-frequency state consistently, regardless of external circumstances. Because here's the truth, your external circumstances don't determine your frequency. Your frequency determines your external circumstances. This is the backwards way most people have been taught to think about success and money. We've been taught that we need to get the money first, and then we'll feel abundant. But quantum physics tells us it works the opposite way. You need to feel abundant first, you need to embody the frequency of wealth first, and then the money shows up in your physical reality. The feeling comes before the form. The vibration comes before the manifestation. Now, let me break down what the quantum wealth code actually consists of. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of elements that all work together to create a powerful wealth frequency. First, there's your belief system about money. What do you really believe about wealthy people? What do you believe about your own worthiness to receive abundance? What did you learn about money growing up? Most of us absorbed limiting beliefs about money from our parents, from society, from religion, and those beliefs are running like software programs in our subconscious mind, creating our financial reality without us even realizing it. If you have a belief that says, money is the root of all evil, or you have to work hard for money, or I'm just not good with money, that belief is broadcasting a specific frequency into the quantum field, and the quantum field is responding by creating experiences that confirm that belief. Second, there's your emotional frequency around money. How do you feel when you think about money? Do you feel excited and abundant, or do you feel stressed and anxious? Do you feel worthy of wealth, or do you feel guilty about wanting more? Your emotions are incredibly powerful energetic signals. In fact, emotions are even more powerful than thoughts when it comes to manifestation because emotions carry a stronger electromagnetic charge. If you're constantly feeling the emotion of lack, even if you're trying to think positive thoughts about money, that emotional frequency is what the quantum field is responding to most strongly. Third, there's your identity. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as someone who is wealthy, or do you see yourself as someone who struggles with money? This is huge because your identity is like the thermostat setting for your life. If you see yourself as a person who makes $50,000 a year, even if you suddenly receive a windfall of money, you'll unconsciously find ways to get back to that $50,000 identity. This is why lottery winners often end up broke. Their identity didn't match the wealth they received, so they unconsciously sabotaged it to get back to their familiar identity level. The quantum wealth code shows you how to upgrade your identity to match the wealth you desire. Fourth, there's your daily vibrational practice. This is about what you're doing each day to maintain and raise your frequency. Are you starting your day in a high vibe state, or are you immediately checking your phone and letting the news and social media drag your frequency down? Are you taking time to visualize your abundant life and feel the feelings of already having what you desire? Are you practicing gratitude, which is one of the highest frequency emotions there is? Or are you spending your mental energy worrying about bills and focusing on everything that's going wrong? Your daily vibrational practice is what keeps you tuned to the wealth frequency consistently, and consistency is everything when it comes to the quantum wealth code. Let me share something with you that's going to blow your mind. There have been scientific studies done on the electromagnetic field of the human heart, and they've discovered that the heart generates an electromagnetic field that can be measured several feet away from the body. This field carries information, and it's constantly interacting with the fields of other people and with the quantum field itself. When you're feeling emotions of abundance, gratitude, joy, and love, your heart's electromagnetic field is coherent and powerful. It's broadcasting a clear, strong signal of wealth and abundance into the quantum field. But when you're feeling fear, stress, anxiety, and lack, your heart's field becomes incoherent and weak. You're broadcasting a scrambled signal that the quantum field can't respond to effectively. This is why people who master the quantum wealth code often talk about feeling abundant before the money shows up. They're not faking it. They're not just thinking positive thoughts and hoping for the best. They're actually generating the electromagnetic frequency of abundance from their heart center, and that signal is going out into the quantum field and literally attracting the people, circumstances, and opportunities that match that frequency. This is the real law of attraction, not the watered-down version you might have heard about. It's based on actual quantum physics and electromagnetic fields. Here's something else that's fascinating about the quantum wealth code. There's a quantum principle called entanglement, which Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. Quantum entanglement shows that particles that were once connected remain connected no matter how far apart they are. When something happens to one particle, the other particle instantly responds, even if it's on the other side of the universe. Now, if we apply this principle to wealth and abundance, it means that once you establish a quantum connection with wealth energy, once you become entangled with the frequency of abundance, you become instantaneously connected to all the resources, opportunities, and money that exist anywhere in the quantum field. You don't have to know how the money is going to come to you. You don't have to figure out the path. The quantum entanglement takes care of that. Your job is just to maintain the frequency. This is why some of the wealthiest people on the planet talk about things like intuition, gut feelings, and following their inner guidance. They're not just lucky. They've learned, either consciously or unconsciously, how to tap into the quantum wealth code. They've learned how to stay in a high-frequency state where they're entangled with abundance, and from that place, the right ideas come to them, the right people show up, the right opportunities present themselves. They're not forcing or struggling. They're flowing with the quantum field. Now, I want to address something that might be coming up for you right now. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but I've tried positive thinking before. I've tried visualization. I've tried affirmations. And nothing changed. Why would this be any different? And that's a valid question. Here's the difference. Most people who try manifestation techniques are doing it from a place of lack. They're affirming abundance while feeling the emotion of not having enough. They're visualizing wealth while their nervous system is in a state of stress and survival. And that creates a mixed signal. It's like trying to drive forward and backward at the same time. You're not going to go anywhere. The quantum wealth code is different because it addresses all levels of your being, not just your conscious thoughts. It works with your subconscious programming, your emotional frequency, your energetic field, and your nervous system state. It teaches you how to get all parts of yourself aligned and broadcasting the same signal. When your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, your emotions, and your energy field are all in agreement, when they're all tuned to the same wealth frequency, that's when the quantum field can respond with maximum power. That's when the manifestation happens quickly and easily. Let me give you a practical example of how this works. Imagine you want to manifest $10,000. If you just think the thought, I want $10,000, while you're feeling stressed about money, what you're really broadcasting to the quantum field is, I don't have enough money, and I'm stressed about it. And the quantum field responds by giving you more experiences of not having enough money and feeling stressed. But if you take the time to actually embody the frequency of already having that $10,000, if you feel how it would feel in your body to have that money in your bank account, if you feel the relief, the gratitude, the excitement, the freedom, if you let that feeling fill every cell of your body until it becomes your dominant vibration, now you're broadcasting a completely different signal. You're broadcasting the signal of abundance, and the quantum field responds by collapsing the wave function in favor of that abundant reality. The $10,000 finds its way to you through whatever path is most aligned with your highest good. This is the power of the quantum wealth code. It's not about thinking your way to wealth. It's about becoming a vibrational match to wealth. It's about embodying the frequency of the financial reality you desire until that frequency becomes so strong, so consistent, that the quantum field has no choice but to reflect it back to you in your physical experience. And here's the beautiful thing. Once you crack this code, once you understand how it works, you can apply it to anything. It's not just about money. The same principles work for health, for relationships, for career success, for anything you desire to create in your life. But let's stay focused on wealth for now because that's what most people are struggling with. One of the biggest blocks people have when it comes to activating their quantum wealth code is unworthiness. Deep down, they don't feel worthy of being wealthy. Maybe they were taught that wanting money is greedy. Maybe they believe that good people struggle and only bad people get rich. Maybe they feel guilty about having more when others have less. Whatever the specific belief is, it creates a frequency of unworthiness, and that frequency repels wealth. You cannot receive what you don't feel worthy of receiving. It's quantum law. So part of cracking the quantum wealth code is healing your relationship with worthiness. It's understanding that you are inherently worthy not because of what you do or what you achieve, but simply because you exist. You are a unique expression of the universe itself, and the universe doesn't create anything without value. When you truly get this at a deep level, when you feel your own worthiness in every cell of your body, your frequency shifts dramatically. And when your frequency shifts, your financial reality shifts to match it. Another important aspect of the quantum wealth code is understanding that wealth is not a finite resource. This is where a lot of people get tripped up. They think that if they become wealthy, they're taking from someone else. They think there's only so much money to go around, and if they get more, someone else has to have less. But this is scarcity thinking, and scarcity thinking keeps you stuck in the scarcity frequency. The truth is, in the quantum field, there is infinite potential for wealth creation. Money is energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. When you become wealthy, you're not taking from anyone. You're tapping into the infinite abundance of the quantum field and allowing it to flow through you. And actually, the wealthier you become, the more you can give, the more you can help others, the more you can be a force for good in the world. This is why the wealthiest people often become the biggest philanthropists. They understand that wealth is meant to flow. When you hoard it, when you operate from scarcity, the flow stops. But when you allow wealth to flow through you, giving generously while also receiving abundantly, you stay in the flow, and the quantum field keeps sending more your way. This is the quantum wealth code in action. It's about circulation, flow, and trust in the infinite abundance of the universe. Now, let's talk about something really practical. How do you actually tune into the quantum wealth frequency on a daily basis? Because understanding the theory is one thing, but application is where the magic happens. The first step is to become aware of your current money frequency. Pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling about money throughout the day. Are you constantly worrying about not having enough? Are you feeling resentful when you see other people's success? Are you feeling stressed every time you check your bank account? These are all signs that you're tuned to the lack frequency, and awareness is the first step to changing it. Once you're aware, the next step is to consciously choose a different frequency. This is where practices like meditation, visualization, and affirmations come in, but with a twist. You're not just saying the words or seeing the images. You're feeling the frequency in your body. You're taking time each day, ideally first thing in the morning before your logical mind kicks in with all its worries and doubts, and you're immersing yourself in the feeling of already being wealthy. You're imagining your abundant life in vivid detail, and more importantly, you're feeling how it feels. What would it feel like to wake up every morning knowing you have more than enough money? What would it feel like to make financial decisions from abundance instead of scarcity? What would it feel like to be generous, to help others, to live in a beautiful home, to travel wherever you want, to never worry about bills? Feel it. Let it become real in your body before it becomes real in your physical world. And here's a secret that most people miss. You have to sustain this feeling beyond your meditation or visualization practice. You have to carry this frequency with you throughout your day. This is where most people drop the ball. They do their morning practice, they feel great, and then 10 minutes later someone cuts them off in traffic and they're right back in their old frequency. Or they check their email and see a bill and immediately drop into worry and stress. The quantum wealth code requires consistency. It requires you to guard your frequency throughout the day, to catch yourself when you start to slip into lack consciousness, and to consciously choose to return to the wealth frequency again and again and again. This is also where gratitude becomes incredibly powerful. Gratitude is one of the highest frequency emotions there is, and it's instantly accessible in any moment. When you find yourself starting to worry about money, stop and find something to be grateful for. It could be as simple as being grateful for the roof over your head, the food in your refrigerator, the air you're breathing. As you focus on gratitude, your frequency immediately shifts upward, and you're back in alignment with the quantum wealth code. Do this enough times, and it becomes automatic. Your default frequency becomes abundance instead of lack, and that's when your external reality really starts to transform. Let me share something profound that happens when you consistently operate from the quantum wealth frequency. You start to notice synchronicities. You start to see signs that the universe is responding to your new vibration. Maybe you randomly think about someone and they call you out of the blue with an opportunity. Maybe you have a strong intuition to go somewhere or do something, and when you follow it, you meet exactly the right person or discover exactly the right opportunity. Maybe you keep seeing repeating numbers like 1111 or 333, which are often signs that you're in alignment with your highest path. These synchronicities are the quantum field's way of confirming that you're on the right frequency. They're breadcrumbs showing you that the quantum wealth code is working. And as you continue to trust this process, as you continue to maintain your wealth frequency even when you don't see immediate physical results, something amazing happens. The quantum field begins to reorganize your entire life around your new vibration. Old relationships that were based on scarcity consciousness might fall away, and new relationships with abundant-minded people will come in. Career opportunities that match your new frequency will appear. Ideas for creating wealth will download into your consciousness. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time again and again. This is not luck. This is the quantum wealth code orchestrating your reality to match your vibrational signature. But I have to be honest with you. This process requires faith. It requires trust. Because there's usually a gap between when you shift your frequency and when you see the physical results. This gap is where most people give up. They do the work for a few days or a few weeks. They don't see immediate changes in their bank account, and they conclude that it doesn't work. But the quantum field doesn't operate on your timeline. It operates on perfect timing. Your job is to maintain the frequency regardless of what you see or don't see in your physical reality. Your job is to trust that the quantum field is responding, that the wheels are turning behind the scenes, that everything is lining up for your highest good. And when you can maintain that trust, when you can hold your frequency with unwavering faith, that's when the miracles happen. That's when money shows up in unexpected ways. That's when opportunities appear out of nowhere. That's when your financial reality completely transforms. So if you're still with me, if you've watched this far, I want you to know that's not an accident. You're here because some part of you knows that the quantum wealth code is real. Some part of you knows that you're meant for more than struggle and lack. Some part of you is ready to crack the code and step into your abundant reality. And I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely possible. You have everything you need within you right now to shift your frequency and transform your financial life. The quantum wealth code isn't something outside of you that you need to acquire. It's something you need to remember, to activate, to embody. If this resonated with you, if you felt something shift inside you while watching, I want you to do something for me. Type the words, "I am wealthy," in the comments right now. Not, "I will be wealthy," or, "I want to be wealthy." Type, "I am wealthy," in the present tense, because when you declare it, you activate it. You're sending that signal to the quantum field right now.